Welcome back to the Glass Cannon Network. It is day 2 of Gen Con, and we are here. We are celebratory. Yes, can we get excited? It is Friday morning at Gen Con at some point in space and time. Not at the time of this recording. But
which is
when
why
you are watching this now,
many people are watching this.
No, it is day 2. It is Friday morning at Gen Con. We're all really sleepy probably already, but we are here to celebrate with part 3 of our Pendragon 2 shot. So that's right. This is part 3. If you haven't watched part 1, which is character creation, you can go do that. Part 2 is the first half of the story. So pause the pod, go do that, check it out. Or, just come along for the ride, be really confused and have no context for what's happening. We're not your boss. Do what you want. So, it is Glass Cannon. This is Pendragon. I'm Brian Holland. Let's go around and meet everybody, starting with the smiling gentleman to my left, Joe O'Brien.
I'm assuming that's me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. It's I don't know where I am on the screen. No. Very happy to be back here. Joe O'Brien from the Glass Cannon Network. If you are watching our slate of videos all weekend long, this is going to be super, super fun. This is one of the only ones. I think this is the only one that is the culmination of 2 previous parts that have aired rolling up to Gen Con. So this is definitely a special one for me. I'm excited to finish this story. Finish it? I don't know. We'll see. This is there's a lot to be done in this adventure.
Yeah, well, we're time poor and story rich, so let's get right through it. Okay,
Yes.
Paula Deming, welcome in.
Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. I'm Paula Deming. You can hear me on Blood of the Wild and other with Chaosium. You can see me in Graveyards of Arkham. Which was pretty awesome, and a variety of other things. The reason this is such a poor introduction of myself is because, Joe, have you always had a sword and shield behind you?
No, this is this is a Pendragon edition.
This is awesome.
I had to dress up for Pendragon. This is my way of cosplay.
Am I just not been observant? Is that why I've never noticed it? But good. Okay, great. Your shield looks kind of like mine that I made. So it's good.
I actually bought this sword at a Renaissance fair when I was 21 years old.
Nerd.
I've had it in an attic for years and years and years and years and years. And I was always like, one day I'm going to hang that on a wall or something. I don't know what, I never knew what I would do with it. And then this Pendragon thing came up, and I got all fired up again. And I was like, I'm going to find a coat of arms and a shield, and I'm going to hang that up. So there you go. That's like the O'Brien coat of arms right there.
Awesome. That's so cool.
It's sort of what it looks like. It's close.
The freedom-loving Skid Maher is also
right.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Skid Maher, proud American, as of about 1:30 p.m. yesterday, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to get back into Pendragon, which I honestly believe this is what I've probably spent more time thinking about this game than I have maybe any of the others, in the interim since we started playing it. It's been on my mind more than
that's just because I've been messaging you about it every day.
Well, there's that.
What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts?
I can't stop thinking about Pendragon and the NFL Sunday package.
Noura Ibrahim.
Hey, I'm Noura Ibrahim. You've seen me on this channel before.
Yep.
And if you're live at Gen Con, you're going to see me with these nerds live as well. So, yeah.
Lots of different shows at Gen Con. So excited.
Okay. Everyone's having a really normal time. And if you are having fun, you like what you see here, you like what you've seen in parts 1 and 2, you can support the show, support Chaosium, support Pendragon by going to chaosium.com, picking up a copy of the Pendragon core book, Pendragon the Grey Knight, or Pendragon starter set for 15% off using the code PENCANNON. And when you use that code, not only do you get a discount, it lets us at Chaosium know that you folks love the Glass Cannon. And hey, support your folks. What do you say? You smash that like button, subscribe. Go over to your Patreon and throw a few shekels. Do you not have that anymore? No, I don't know.
No, we don't. Well, we never had a Patreon.
I do though.
We had a Patreon at one point.
People could just come to mine if they wanted.
Okay, there you go. Sorry. If you want to support the Glass Cannon,
support the Glass Cannon and Chaosium by subscribing to Paula Deming's YouTube channel.
Sign up for Joe
Perfecto.
O'Brien's OnlyFans.
That's right. That's right.
That's why he has the sword and shield.
That's the
Tune in to
definition.
watch
of
Joe
into some
O'Brien
weird
polish his sword on his OnlyFans. Anyway, this is a family show, so let's move along. Move right along. We're
Very
going to get back
early.
into the mood.
Yeah.
Pick up where we left off.
Yes.
Let's get some magic weapons.
So, well, hey, no spoilers.
It
Spoilers.
says, I wrote down in my notes, going to Isle of Avalon for a magic sword. It's not a spoiler if you already told us.
True. Well, our characters are assembled on their quest.
Yes.
They see Enis Widrin from a distance, a large, sloping hill rising up from a thick and misty marsh for miles in all directions. And at its apex stands the Great Tor, in which it is said by the pagans lies the door to Otherworld, the realm of the dead. This Isle of Avalon is home to apprentice of the archdruid Merlin, the enchantress Nimue. Welcome back to Pendragon, under an iron sky. Let's just quickly remind everybody who everybody is playing. Let's just go around the clock in the same order. Joe O'Brien, who are you and how are you feeling?
I am playing Sequegan of Salisbury, a 4'8" knight famous for his selfishness. And he has a black and white standard with a diamond shape in the middle and some what is it called? Ermine shapes. And so far he has he made a move in last episode that was a little bit cruel, perhaps.
Ooh, a little?
Yeah. Perhaps a little, depending on how you look at it.
Or merciful, perhaps it was.
Or
it was
merciful.
merciful.
If he had indeed given the thief a mortal wound, we don't really know. But
There's no way of knowing.
Instead of letting some thieves go, he ran a man through, and it was a little bit dicey.
He's feeling fine about it. Paula, who are you and how are you feeling?
Hello. I didn't warm up my accent because I forgot. So here we are. Okay.
The dog ate my accent.
Dog ate my accent, and that's why I sound like this. I'm Fiona. I am a squire. And I am Dame Sophina's squire, but surely soon I will be knighted. One can only hope. I have red hair and I'm left-handed, and those are bad things in this world. It's fine.
Don't tell people that.
Yeah, and I am honest to a fault. Famous for being honest, and I don't think I did that enough last session, so get ready for some hard truths.
Importantly, Squire Fiona is also our group's only
the only
worshipper of
pagan.
the old gods. Yeah, she worships the old gods of Britain.
Let's go to the Great
as a
Poor.
pagan. Skid, Sir Caradoc.
Yes, I am Sir Caradoc, hater of Saxons.
Right.
Speaking of polishing things, with a polished knob.
I have a polished knob, polished to a high sheen.
Get
I
on a
polish
t-shirt,
it.
ask me about my polished.
Ask about my polished knob. I polish it compulsively. Sometimes I ask my squire, Patroclus, to polish it for me.
Poor Brian was like, we're gonna do like a real grim dark, okay? Like he really tried to set the tone and we refused to
He was the
go
one who
with
gave
it.
me the polished knob.
That's
So-
true.
That's
He has
true.
no one
He
to
did this
blame but himself.
And the grimmer the darkness, the lighter the
Polish.
levity.
Yeah.
The greater the sheen on the polished knob.
Yeah.
So yes, and he's 6'3". He's very willowy. He has a Roman nose. In fact, he has always maintained that his family claims lineage from the former Roman imperials that used to hold sway over this land. And and I've decided he does have a squire named Patroclus.
Patroclus?
Yeah,
He also composed a love poem,
he
That's
did.
true.
which Skid actually did off the dome last episode. If you didn't
That's
watch
right.
again, go back and watch
Real
that
good.
shit. Yeah,
That's right.
it's good. We'll put him on the spot again this time.
Sure.
Lastly but not leastly,
we should also say, and this is important, the person whom he is trying to woo happens to be the mother of our Lord Robert of Salisbury, who is currently an 11-year-old lord of the realm here, and his mother, who calls a lot of the shots, Sir Caradoc has a little bit of a thing for.
Yes, but I want to clarify that this is not. I'm not trying to seduce her or anything.
Yeah.
This is courtly love.
Sincerely
This is,
in love.
This can never be consummated by definition.
That's
Nothing
so,
to do with
be
usurping the
unrequited,
power
right?
or anything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Eternally friend-zoned.
Exactly. Chivalric
Passion
friendzonery. That's
Chivalric friendzonery.
Everyone knows that when will they, won't
There's the
they.
episode title.
When will they, won't they is over. It gets boring. So
everyone loses interest.
yeah,
So
we gotta keep
right.
it. Will they, won't they?
this is like an eternal Jim and Pam.
Yeah.
situation.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Tough look for those of us who just got married in the last fortnight, but other than that, Noura.
I am playing Dame Sophina the Fragrant of Salisbury.
Yes. And she does smell quite good.
She does smell really good all the time. She's at a staggering 5'11", a very sturdy lady with flowing blonde hair and elegant arms. She is the knight to her squire Fiona, and super like lots of riz, saving it for God, like super.
She's real tight with God.
Good.
Super,
very godly.
Right.
super fervent about that chastity.
Well, our band of, let's just say, quite diverse in human being type vibes, our band of people, our band of knight and squire. I'm looking forward to just being able to say knights, but
It's okay. You
Do
can
what we
say
can.
knights, and I'll just pretend like it includes me.
You're entering into this miles-long marsh which surrounds the Isle of Avalon, or Innis Widrin, as it's called, and the marsh is cloying and difficult to navigate. The few trees growing from the knee-deep water appear dead by what little light of the sun manages to pierce both the cloud cover and the thick mists. Remember, it is getting late in the day now, so the sun will be setting soon. While you're walking through this marsh, and don't worry, we're not gonna, if anyone still has childhood trauma from the Neverending Story, that's not gonna be happening. That's not where we're going. But
Thank
have
you
one
for
horse.
putting my fears at ease.
yeah,
tracks.
so we are all on our horses, but your horses are sort of almost knee deep in this marsh. Could all of you? I will let you choose if you have one particularly higher than the other. But I would like to ask for spiritual rolls. Now, remember, spiritual is one of your traits. It's spiritual and worldly. And I would like, if you could, please make
To
spiritual rolls.
Test
to
our
see-
spiritual.
Well, here's how this is essentially make a roll against your spiritual, and this is essentially going to dictate whether your character, regardless of their religion, feels some sort of spiritual thing here. If you, for instance, if you fail this roll, I'm then going to ask you to roll against your worldly, in which case you'll be like, it's a fucking marsh or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just some
so everyone
dumb
roll
island.
against their spiritual first.
Ooh, that is a critical success. Does that have any
Oh.
traits?
It does. What
Wow.
that means is you get an automatic tick on that
So
trait.
cool.
Okay, because I rolled
So you
the
rolled
number
the same?
exactly. That's the
Nice.
Yes,
crit, right?
it is.
So I rolled an 11. I had an 11 spiritual and I
Wow.
rolled
Roll.
an 11.
Well done, and a spiritual might go up. So you're a Christian,
I am.
right? Okay.
Yes,
so let me
but he did feel a little bit like this was a little silly. This talk of a magic land and a magic sword and all
Exactly.
this stuff.
How passionate are you about your religion? What is your
Very,
devotion?
very dispassionate.
Okay,
He's,
so
he's
this-
not very intense about his devotion to his deity.
So this is what I mean, right? Okay, so you have just crit your spiritual roll,
Yeah.
but you're not super into the one God of the Christians necessarily, right?
That's
And
what he
you were
was
just-
raised with. He doesn't really know anything
Exactly.
else. To put
And
it
your
in
family's
numbers,
important to
he's-
you.
his devotion to his deity is a 4 out of
Wow.
20.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
So it's very
Wow.
low.
Very low.
So you might, Sir Quegan, might just be feeling like, okay, well, I don't know how I feel necessarily about the Christian God, but there's definitely a vibe in the marsh, and you would hate to think that, oh, is this vibe here because pagan gods are present or doing something?
Yeah.
Like, is that true? You know, can they maybe both exist? You may be a little conflicted just because you've crit that spiritual roll, but you do have a very low passion. So I'll let you sit with that just for a moment and consider how you might want to sort of interpret that into your character while we go around. So Paula, what did you roll?
I rolled a 16 under 18, so that's a regular success.
18 spiritual. Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
You are
I'm
famously
spiritual and honest. That's what I'm known for.
Yeah. You know that the old gods are present in this place, and it invigorates you spending all this time around Christians to know that despite what the Romans did to your land and to your gods all those years ago, that the old gods are still present in Britain. And this is actually kind of, it's probably the similar feeling that a very devout Christian would get into walking into a brand new cathedral, right? It is almost proof that this ancient magic still exists, and you swear you could feel it, right? So Caradoc, how was your roll?
I got an 8 under 12.
Okay, so, and you're a Christian.
Yes.
So, and Noura, I'll just check with you. Did you also succeed but not crit?
I got a 13 under 16.
Okay, so both of you as Christians, there is something supernatural feeling here, but if it is evil at work, or if because the pagan gods are not real. That's just how the devil disguises himself to trick other people, right? So that's how you're feeling. If there is something going on in the swamp, it is evil.
Okay, that's
so
good. I was going to ask how we reconcile stuff like this with a high spirituality if we are Christian.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah. So exactly. So it is. Everything that's not there is evil. So, how's everyone feeling as you walk through?
The devil is at work here.
No.
In the very mists, he hides his face behind trees. He is everywhere around us.
No,
Be
that's
on
not
your
the
guard.
devil.
Swing, and I pull out my polished knob. I display it to my companions proudly.
No, we're safe here. It's the old gods. It's very powerful.
Misguided, you poor misguided creature. This can't be. I forgot my accent. This can't.
This can't
That's okay.
be.
Mine's gonna change every time I open my mouth. I'm gonna be from a slightly different part of.
Surely this is the devil's work.
Think what you like, but it's not the devil. I feel very encouraged here.
I quite agree with Fiona on this point. I feel something in the air, but it doesn't feel decidedly evil. Not particularly, anyway. It's almost welcoming, despite the flies and muck. He sort of looks down, disgusted at the ground.
It's a good thing you're very
good
far
sign.
from it.
Yes, my legs get nowhere near the ground. Let's all have a good laugh.
We could make fun of you for other things, and that is more impolite, so we'll make fun of you for your height.
No.
Mind.
Oh, yes, very low-hanging fruit, Fiona.
Very low-hanging
No,
fruit.
indeed.
This is low enough for you to be able to reach it. But take heart, Sir Cregan. At least thou art not red-haired or left-handed.
All right.
Better keep an eye on that knob, Caradoc. We don't want the devil snatching it away.
I'm going to polish it right now.
Now is not the time, Caradoc.
Sorry, I do it compulsively whenever I feel danger.
Remember, as we go forward, if you don't mind me saying, that we are probably going to interact and run into more people who believe as I do, as opposed to as you do, and you won't want to offend them because we're trying to get help here. So, bear that in mind as we move forward, maybe.
Did I bring my emergency baptism kit? Is that in my...
Dame Sophina, moisten thy squire. The devil has entered the heart.
Squire.
Oh.
Ooh, okay. You come after...
No,
it's all right.
I was going to make a joke, and then I decided
Oh.
better not to.
You're going to interrupt one? Yeah, all right. I'll finish my sentence. You come to the foot of the aisle, and it rises before you from the marsh in a steep slope. The darkness of the the night which has now come upon you cloaks the place in a somewhat sense of
night with an N.
foreboding. Yeah, full. Could everyone please make an awareness roll? I'm just going to check something here.
Yes.
So this is, for those playing at home, awareness is a skill that most people have. It is usually kind of low. Did you crit, Skid? Is that what that reaction is? Oh.
But I have a very low awareness, but I got a 1 under 5.
Oh, wow. Well done.
I also got a 1 under 5.
Whoa! Oh my
I was
gosh!
like, this is gonna suck.
God is real.
I got a 9 over 5, so I am just still kind of like basking in the and feeling the presence of my gods and not noticing anything else that's happening.
Well, regardless of how you believe, this sort of feeling of foreboding does seem real, because whether it's in Sequegan's case, a foreboding of an inner conflict of what he believes, maybe, or if in the Christian's case, a foreboding of the devil's presence, or in Squire Fiona's case, the foreboding that at the top of this hill is supposed to be the entrance into the physical entrance into Otherworld, where people go when they die, which is not necessarily, it's not hell. Let me be clear. Like it's supposed to be a pleasant after experience. And sorry, Sequegan, how'd your roll go? Did you fail?
17 over 5.
Oh, that's
We
bad.
are a decidedly unaware party.
Well,
we really
except
are.
for the two that crushed it. So
but we all have
still
5.
typically we're this is out of character for both of us.
We're just like go around the countryside whistling and looking at birds.
So Caradoc and Dame Safina, please tick your aware box, because that may increase during the winter phase, the downtime between stories. And you both, your attention is drawn. Dame Safina and Sir Caradoc, your attention is drawn not to the top of the great aisle and the spot where the Tor stands grim and unknown, but rather to sounds echoing from the mouth of a small cave that gapes from the root of the hill. You can see it's off far to your left, and you can see the floor appears slick with the runoff from the marsh, and in addition to the sounds, you can see the flickering orange and red of firelight dancing off the walls and smoke coiling from it, as if steam from the throat of some ancient beast.
Dost thou hear that, Dame Safina?
Yes, it's. And as she kind of squints to see the light, what do you suppose is lurking?
Perhaps it is the very gates to hell. Strange tales are told of this place. We should go. Look, see for ourselves.
Swing. Pull my sword this time.
Sir Quegan, you go first.
You go first, because we'll be able to see over your head.
Where are you looking?
Oh,
There.
So they point out the cave.
yeah.
Oh,
And he looks up the top toward we were first looking. So we're going to divert here to a cave at the base of this hill. Is that what you said? It's kind of at the base.
It's sort of the base of the hill, because the hill, when you've come up, is very, very steep. Like it's almost like at a right angle.
So too steep.
But it's
So
close.
there's
It's
not a
too-
path.
it'd be very
It's not a
diff-
path
diff-
up there.
There's not a clear path to go
Got
up,
it.
but these two knights have noticed this nearby cave mouth where there's a fire inside it, so somebody must be in there.
Hello there! Show yourself! And he's going to start trotting over toward the cave. Anyone in there?
As you approach Sequegan, and you won't have to step too far away from the rest of the party to notice this, that's assuming they're not following in tow. As you approach, you see from the trees and amongst the various detritus of the marsh nearby the cave, you see effigies fashioned from stone and twig and mud and moss. They hang from the branches of nearby trees, or they're perhaps affixed to the ends of spears jutting from the muddy earth. The effigies have the shape of men, and they are smeared with strange markings. I'll ask everybody to have a look at their trusting/suspicious trait, and if one is particularly higher than the other, let me know.
I've got a 12 suspicious versus 8.
That's not hugely different, so I'll let you, the player, decide if there's a particular route you'd like to take with whether or not, you are trusting or suspicious of this. You can also consider other things like your religion or your spirituality or how you're feeling. Does anyone have a particularly high suspicious or...
No, mine's 10 and 10.
Okay.
So I think Sir Quegan he's going to call into this cave where he sees a firelight, seems someone of some intelligence would be in there, and he's going to just call them out. And seeing these effigies outside, he might think that there's some sort of barbaric, heretic sort of behavior going on here, but he's not afraid of them based on his arms and his armor. Like, he just feels like he would way outmatch anybody in a fight, so he's not really afraid. And so he'll just call out and see if anybody responds.
I'll ask at this point, Squire Fiona, can you please make a religion roll?
Yeah, I was going to ask if this felt like anything particularly recognizable to me.
It is definitely
on...
some pagan stuff. Whether or not you know exactly what it means, that's what we'll find out.
Religion or...
Yeah. No, religion. Like the skill religion. There is a skill religion, right?
There is, but it's... All my skills are super low. I wish I could have I wish I'd thought before rolling.
Oh, sorry to
call
be
upon
passionate.
a passion. You could just pretend like I didn't roll and do it again.
What passion would you call upon?
Oh gosh, but it's tricky, right? It feels like devotion, deity is what makes sense, but that's not very high, so I don't have a great... It's only
you'd
a
like
9.
To metagame.
So I actually don't know. I'm going to try it. Why not?
Okay, well...
Right?
Well,
family
Is
could
that
go
wrong?
mad.
Is it bad?
But yeah, it could be
It's
bad.
risky.
But hey, it's a good story.
it's also a one-shot,
That's what I think.
2-shot.
So I need to roll 9 or under to see if I get a boost to my
Bonus,
religion.
yeah.
Oh gosh. I've changed a dice 2 times already.
Just getting the
No.
Passion Crisis section up in the rulebook.
All you need to do is roll low, Paul. That shouldn't be difficult.
That's easy. What did you get?
I rolled
Did you roll a
12.
20?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't fumble. I rolled a
didn't fumble
12 over 9. So,
Okay.
so I call
You're
upon
now
my
entering
passion,
a-
but I'm like,
You're entering a Passion Crisis now.
oh no, just from that.
You now have
just
to
from
make
one fail?
You're suffering a Passion Crisis. Now you have to make an unopposed roll against the passion that triggered the crisis. So please make another roll against
Oh,
that passion.
interesting.
And your reaction to what your level of success with this will tell us what happens here.
Yeah, especially in this situation with all these religious effigies around. You're having a crisis.
What?
A
Is it a
2
20?
under 9,
Oh,
so it's a
okay.
success.
Whoa, nice. There you go.
So you succeeded. Okay. So because you
I
succeed.
closed my eyes and rolled.
Oh, that's the trick.
That was the trick.
Let me just double check there wasn't any. You haven't failed any tasks. You're not inspired. Nothing from your own inaction. No. So instead, you are going to enter melancholy,
Okay.
which is exactly what it sounds like in real life. Sorry for those listening who for this. This is not a fun escape from reality. When you know when you're feeling religious and you see some shit you don't recognize and you're like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
What do I believe?
It's super depressed.
You enter a
What
you
a
enter
roller coaster I've just gone on.
You enter a depressed emotional state. And this is probably going to last for a few days, if nothing else. You are going to suffer -5 to all skill and passion rolls because you're so melancholic. However,
that means I'm just a 0 for everything.
tales of your great melancholy will spread far and wide because these people will talk shit about it probably. So you can immediately gain 10 glory.
Oh.
Well, that's something.
Oh, interesting.
And
create
sorry,
a
while we're
genre
at
of
that, I
music.
did forget
for
because we had to wrap up last session. I forgot that the fight against the Irishman meant that you all also got 10 glory for killing those Irishmen or defeating them. So 10 glory for that.
Sweet. So I think what Fiona is experiencing right now is just she's just come through this marsh and felt like this presence, and it actually felt really encouraging, but then she immediately sees something that she doesn't quite fully recognize, and she doesn't know if it's the sign of someone within her religion in a with good intentions or possibly misusing their beliefs with bad intentions, and that just not being able to tell kind of throws her off and wait, can you use the old gods with bad intentions? And if that's true, should I even be believing in the old gods? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What?
And
No,
the other
you
aspect is
shouldn't.
you've got these Christians in your ear telling you that you're full of shit, and
They all told me it was
you're seeing
bad.
these effigies and you don't know what they mean because you failed that role, right?
Yeah, and now
you
I
don't know what they mean.
can't-
And surely, if the old gods were real, you would just know upon seeing them,
I would
like the
know.
Christians claim. So
minute.
you get really sad.
Stealthily flicking holy water on your
That's what
head.
caused it.
Okay. So, Paula, please just remember that you're at -5 to all skill and passion rolls. And the melancholy will last a number of days equal to the level of the passion, which I think you said was 9.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 days of sadness. Now,
Oh, wow.
we may not
Crap.
necessarily have time to get into this today, but there are ways to cure it. So, there is the friendly cure. Somebody can come over and try and talk to them, particularly if that person has a passion or love, like an actual love for the character. You can try and sort of talk them out of it. However, that can also result on a die roll. The person who's being comforted, there's a chance that they will actually lash out at the person who tried to comfort them because they feel
Just
When you try
real
to
life.
tickle somebody and they absolutely hate it.
exactly. So it's basically this is the
try
origins of this is the origin of toxic masculinity. This is like, don't talk to me. I'm okay.
I'm feeling feelings right now.
All right, so sorry. This all happened in the matter of seconds. Sorry, Sir Quegan. So as you see, you call out, and you're sort of standing in front of the cave, and you can see that it's tall enough that you could stand in there without hunching, and it goes several yards into the earth. But it curves a little bit, and you can see the firelight flickering out. You can't see all the way in there. But from where you stand near the mouth of the cave, your nostrils are filled with this sort of strange scent that's somewhere between bitter and sweet. And as you call out, you don't get any response, but your own voice sort of bouncing off the cave walls and echoing back to you.
Okay. Can I go into the cave on horseback?
You would have to dismount your horse. All of you would.
Yeah.
Well, you especially would be fine, but everybody else will also have to dismount their horse.
Okay. Well, I'm going in. He'll say. He'll turn back to all of you. Let us hobble the horses and go in. See what's going on in there. There's no other place to go. What, are we going to turn around? He's looking back and forth from Sir Caradoc to Dame Sophina.
If anybody would like to not go in the cave, I'm going to have to ask you to fail a valorous roll.
Hell no, I'm going to the cave.
I'm going in the cave. My valorous
Okay.
is a 19.
Even if the devil
yeah.
himself is waiting in there, a 19, Jesus.
Yeah,
if the
it's
devil
like-
himself is waiting in there, then you will slay
All right,
him.
so
and
Sir
fix
Quegan
the world.
dismounts and hobbles Smitty, his horse, and
Yeah.
we'll prepare to walk into the cave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sophina dismounts off of her trusty steed Wally and heads into
Is anyone
Yeah,
going sword drawn, or is it just Sir Caradoc as his
sword.
I'm not drawing my
Not
sword.
drawing,
Okay.
but I'm prepared to.
Sure.
I'll have my dagger. I'll just pull because I feel like I need to have Sophina's back, and so I'll dismount as soon as I see her dismounting, and get closer and just have a dagger
Like a
in
sad
my
dagger.
hand. Yeah, just
sad
a really
dismount.
sad
Like a
dagger. I'm like,
loose-
I don't know,
Uh-huh.
could be for me, it could be for everyone. Let's just see how this plays out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Sir Caradoc passes off the reins of his trusted horse, Bucephalus, to Patroclus. And with sword drawn, he enters the cave as well.
Those poor other squires who don't get to come along. I'll say, really,
know.
yeah. Look after my horse too.
So
I'm going with Sophina.
you all enter the cave, which is, as I've said, is lit by this fire deep within. And you go a few yards down, you turn the slight corner. And then you see a very large fire pit, and the warmth in here is quite pleasant almost, because it's been quite cold and wet outside. However, against the end of the cave, against the wall, because the cave ends not too far into it. Behind the fire sits a woman, and she is naked but for a black robe that hangs from her in tatters. Her bare legs are streaked with mud and her feet black with the earth. Her long dark hair spills out over her breasts and she stares at you from under her hood, with one eye that is no different from yours, and one eye of perfect round gold. She smiles and her teeth are slick with saliva like the jowls of a rabid dog. From her side, she throws more leafy twigs into the fire which sputter and spark and fill the cave with yet more of that strange, bitter-sweet scent. "You come here from your lord," she says, and for a moment her gold eye glitters in the firelight. "Speak then if you can. What are you?"
What are you? Some sort of witch?
Art thou Nimue, the Lady of the Lake?
She laughs when Sir Caradoc says that.
Name dropper.
No, we totally met at a party 3 years ago. You might not remember.
She looks at you, Sir Caradoc, and she smiles when she laughs at that. And you see in her gold eye for a moment the tip of a molten sword. But then you blink, and it is gone. She looks over each of you. "Why have you come here to this forbidden place where the living should fear to walk?"
We come seeking a sword. We are told there was magic in this place. A sword that could help us fell a giant who rampages across the lands of Lord Robert of Salisbury. Is it true? Does such a thing exist?
Of course the giants exist. They walked the old world before the Romans slew it, before the old gods abandoned the Britons, before the Christians came and occluded any hope of us rekindling our connection to the true gods of this world. And she holds her hand out over the fire, Sir Quegan, as she drops more of these twigs into the flames that spitter and burn, and for a second, her hand looks like it almost morphs into that of an ancient old crone, and then returns to its otherwise youthful guise. "There is no sword but that which you brought," she says, looking at you with both her gold and real eye.
As I suspected. He turns, looks at Dame Sophina and Sir Caradoc and Fiona. There is no magic sword. Whatever she's playing at, it's drawing us into something we don't need.
Surely any magic sword would be evil.
I don't think that's true. I think there
King,
is a magic sword.
the king himself, it is said, was gifted the sword Excalibur by this lady. If indeed thou art Nimue, the Lady of the Lake, her arm clad in the purest shimmering samite, held aloft from the bosom of the water the sword Excalibur, signifying by divine providence that he, Arthur, was to wield Excalibur. That is why he is our king.
Yes, I pulled it from the wretched waters of the lake. I dove down beneath its dark, twisting brine, and from the earth beneath. I pulled Excalibur from the earth, and I handed it into Arthur, and he is the Britain's true king, and he will see the return of the old gods. There is no sword but that which you brought. Slaying a giant will require the help of Bel or Andraste. You cannot do it yourself. Bring forth one weapon, and I will see it done.
Well, I already have it out, so...
That's true.
That's true.
Sorry.
I wish I had a sword.
Well, I mean, he had it out because he was going to kill you.
No,
If we're honest.
I was going to
He's
give
going
it
to kill
to
you without asking you a single question.
I was going to give it to you as a gift, but if you're offering reciprocally, here.
Any chance, quick question, before you go into all of this. Could you make two?
You didn't even
Well,
believe
three.
she could do it at all.
I was just throwing it out there.
He
Conversation.
was very suspicious. He has a very suspicious nature. Well, not very suspicious, but slightly suspicious.
Yes, I'm also very selfish, so I want the sword for myself.
And you can see a gentleman of his height would not be worthy of holding such a sword. And her, she has red hair.
How dare you, sir? I will take your japes when they are in good fun, but if you question my swordsmanship, I'll duel you right here.
No, you're a good swordsman. I'm just saying. Let's not argue in front of the fairy. Please. Sweet lady, if you would grant us this blessing so that we might do our Lord's will and slay this evil giant.
I have a question.
She turns and looks directly at you.
Fiona gulps as to everything that she's been experiencing in the last small amount of time is just will whatever you're going to do to the sword work if the person wielding it doesn't believe that it works?
Up.
If it's magic, but someone doesn't believe in magic, will it still work?
Do the gods raise the sun for the Christians as well as the pagans?
Yes.
Then give me your dagger, child.
And I'll hold out the dagger.
Fiona, when she takes the dagger, she takes it. Do you hand it to her blade first or handle first?
Handle first.
Okay. She takes the handle gently, and you see from the tips of her fingers, like a sheen, like a blue lightning, linger in the handle and travel up the blade to the point tip. And then when you blink, it is gone. Nimue takes the dagger from you, and she cradles it in her arms like a babe. And she chants under her breath, and from out her robe, she sprinkles it with various accoutrements and touches it with oil and passes it through the flames. And she holds it aloft above her head and chants deeply and loudly in a version of English long forgotten. And then she lowers it, kisses the blade, and hands it back to you, blade first.
I'll grab the blade without hesitation. I'll grab it. I don't care if it cuts me.
Yeah, it does not.
Okay. Thank you, lady. What does it do now? It looks very nice, but what do I do with it?
Nimue turns to Dame Safina and points. She will tell you when the time is right.
Oh. Well, that makes sense. She is my knight. I am her squire. I will protect you and aid you, Dame Safina, with this blessing.
And Safina just kind of looks over at the lady, looks over at Fiona, looks over at the lady, and it's just very strong conflict in her.
While you're looking between them, the second time you look back at the woman, she has your face.
She's so creepy. What is the meaning of this?
And then it's gone immediately, almost immediately.
What is the meaning of that? How did you do that?
She smiles. She says, "The old gods are present, Dame, whether you acknowledge them or not." And she takes more of the kindling from her side and throws it under the fire, and it spitters and sparks. Go now, lest your quest be in vain.
Thank you. If I'm honest, I'm kind of questioning all of this right now, but this will give me a lot to think on. I'll sheathe my dagger and wait for my knight to lead.
So, he's looking at Sir Caradoc. So, the magic sword that we came to get was the squire's dagger? Am I understanding this correctly? No? Yes? Is that it? And now we slay a
enchanted
giant.
the dagger with the power of the old gods. But be warned, Sir Quigan. The giant of Montacute will not fall lightly. You will find that truth will slay him as well as any weapon. Learn forgiveness as a heart abused will cloak itself in the armor of untruth. Now be gone, lest the gates of Enis Widrin claim you before your time.
I think we should go.
Start backing out.
Yep.
Ugh.
Just slowly
So
backs
creepy.
into the distance.
All right. Thanks for nothing. I mean, thank you, milady.
So I'm just going to process here. So we're leaving the cave, moving through the marsh. It is nighttime, and whatever you felt at Enis Widrin, be it horror or awe, is behind you when you step free of the marsh and back onto the road. You feel a weight lift you, a fuzziness in your mind, your vision that you perhaps did not notice is now gone. As the air is cleaner in the night, and you've made this journey back through the marsh in silence as each of you contemplate what happened. That said, the road to Montacute is still long and it is cold, and with nothing but the cloud filtering moonlight to warm you, it is getting late and the sun will not yet rise for many hours.
Shall we?
Are we going to go
rest?
through the night, or are we going to camp? Is it?
We should probably camp.
We should, and it does feel a bit safer here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, with that behind us, I feel like we can stay here
All right, so
and
just
get our rest.
each of you make an awareness roll to help make the camp, and then you'll have some time around the campfire to decompress and share your thoughts with one another.
Nope.
So,
Roll
I need to
D14.
roll just in case I fumble, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
9 over 5 for awareness.
Mm-hmm. Everyone failed?
Yeah.
17 over 5, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. You find a great spot beneath a very
no.
old and angled tree.
Great spot. Really
This
good.
looks great.
Yeah,
This
it's
looks
really
perfect.
hard. It's really hard to light a fire because the soil around here is so wet. But you do eventually get it there. It's a very it's the fire equivalent of heaving piss past a kidney stone. It's really average, right? You know, sorry, that was a real weird analogy, but you know what I mean. It's like it's really struggling, right? And very not warm, so you have to wrap yourselves in your cloaks or your horse blankets or whatnot. But you are at least covered from the rain here, but it is pretty miserable. And the night is cold and dark, and is giving you plenty of time to think about your experience at the Isle of Avalon.
We should all platonically huddle for warmth.
Yes, I like
Yes.
that idea.
Yes, we should. Come, Patroclus.
Yes, sir. Big or little, sir?
Big or little?
Wedge thyself between your betters.
He does so.
So, what do you think then about her true form? What do you think she really is? I saw the hands of an old woman, a crone. I bet she's far older than she looked.
For a brief
saw-
moment, I saw her face in mine.
You saw her face?
I saw
her real
my face in hers.
What? She looked like you.
Yes. Very briefly, though.
I saw a blade melting, burning in a golden eye, but only for a moment.
If she is from the devil, then why did she not speak of it? She
Maybe
did
she's not from
speak
the
of
devil.
Beelzebub. She spoke of the old gods. She said the Christians killed it, and she was bringing them back. She never spoke of the devil once.
No, she didn't. So maybe that means that the old gods and pagan beliefs are not of the devil. It was hard to tell. I didn't know when we went in if it would be good or bad, and what that might mean. It's been a very strange day. But
Indeed.
Indeed, it is strange. These are strange times.
But maybe I'll pull out the dagger. It is right for me to be the one to wield it. I know it doesn't seem like it is because I am not a knight, but I am the one who most, I think, believes in its power, and I will wield it in service of Lord Robert and all of you. And I will prove myself.
Fiona, how can you stand face to face with a giant and try to stab it? It will squash you like a grape.
Well, maybe I can throw it, or we can trap it and pull it to the ground, and then I jump on it and I stab it with the dagger right in the back of his neck.
But, Squire, with which hand shalt thou do this?
Yes, very good question, Sir Caradoc.
Oh.
When you land the killing blow on the giant, what hand shall you use?
Well, clearly this blasphemous weapon has been handed over to this... And she almost says blasphemous person. But she, pauses. To this person of similar background. But the
I
thing
know
is,
what you all think of me.
And what is that? You read minds now as well with your old gods?
No, of course not. Don't be ridiculous. But I know you think I'm lesser than you. And I should have been knighted when you all were, but I wasn't. But I will be soon, and just because our beliefs are different doesn't make one of us right and one of us wrong. And doesn't mean anything. I will stab that giant with my left hand, using this damned dagger.
She will cut a
That'll
bitch,
show.
I've seen it.
She will cut a bitch.
Is this what would this mean? What would be the significance of a knight's squire being sort of given this task over that of her knight?
Well,
You know what I mean?
Well, if you were a pagan and you believe that the Enchantress Nimue, the apprentice of the Archdruid Merlin, speaks for the gods, it would be like a religious, spiritual, significant choice, I suppose. And that's where the conflict here is. That those of you who don't believe in the old gods are just like, well, that this maybe snake oil salesman was just like, hey,
Yeah, and
she
she's
looks
just-
like she's already in the tent, so maybe I can,
She's just going to get Fiona killed.
But,
I'd
is
like
this-
to make a... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, is this dishonorable for Sophina?
No, it isn't. It is not dishonorable for Sophina. If anything, the better way to look at it is a valorous or honorable task for the squire, I suppose. It's not like now that said, if Sophina wants to feel like she was overlooked by the witch in the cave and be offended by that, she could. Or
She's not.
if you,
You're
you
not
could look
super
at that
proud
too.
though, right, Sophina? You're not
I think she is, isn't she?
Are you super proud?
What's your
for me?
pride? Yeah,
Yeah.
Sophina, what's your pride?
Well, where is that?
Should have asked that earlier. Sorry, it's a good point.
Right in the
Traits.
middle, yeah. So this is actually
on
what
traits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
traits.
proud. Oh, 50-50, 10 and 10.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
so
then-
it's up to you. Yeah,
Yeah, it's up to you.
So this is what
I
I was
am proud.
thinking about. This is what I was thinking about rolling. It's like when she said she can read my mind, I was like, I don't think you can. And just because he's selfish doesn't necessarily mean that he thinks he's better than her or that has
Right.
that pride. So I look, and I am more modest than proud, only by one.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted to try to be, modest in that moment. So I'm just going to do a quick roll. I'm going to try
You're
to roll
rolling
on
your
modest.
modesty.
And if I
Okay.
don't, I'm going to
You
think
might-
I'm better than her.
Well, just so you know, if you don't, you will roll against the opposite trait. If
You're
you
right.
fail
I'm
this.
sorry.
Yeah, sure.
So
that's right.
rolling
But then you
against
can
my,
choose.
and I succeeded 8 under 11.
Okay. All right. So tick your modesty, and
So he's going to
act
tick his
accordingly.
modesty, and he's going to say, "You jump to conclusions, Fiona. I don't think you're better than me, and I'm sure that Dame Sophina doesn't either. I can't speak for Caradoc. He's a very proud knight. However, for the rest of us...
I'm not that proud. I'm very modest.
Oh, yes,
Well, I'm quite proud. I'm proud of it.
as you should be.
You've
I just don't know that this woman didn't hand you your own dagger back to you and fill you with delusions that will get you killed.
Oh.
That is all. That's only my concern, is preserving your life.
We don't look down at you at all, Fiona. We do not knight each other. It is granted by Lord Salisbury. And we've all done our duty to get here, as you are doing now.
There is
Perhaps.
a squire within all of us.
Yes, we all were squires once, and we all want you to become a knight as well. We've all seen the promise within you. We know that you are, you've been a trusted companion, and we all want this for you. Now, actually, that is another question. So, could one of us knight her? Because traditionally, I think knights could knight.
No,
knights,
well,
right?
not at this point in time, or at least not
Yeah,
in
'cause
the
we're
rules of the
noobs.
game put forward.
Yeah.
The knight has to the knighting has to come from someone to whom you have sworn fealty.
Okay.
That might be apocryphal, but that's how it works in this version of history. We're
So this act
experiencing.
may be what gets you knighted.
Or it may be what gets you killed. So let's be smart about this.
Yes.
What was that other thing she said? And he pulls the cloak around himself tighter. A couple drips coming through this raggedy old tree that's over top of them into his eye. What was that she said about killing it with the truth?
Truth will slay the
this
giant as well as
nonsense.
any weapon or something like that.
She said something of forgiveness.
Yes.
Mercy of truth. And then
She spoke in riddles, but perhaps there is something beyond just the strength of arms we need to defeat this thing.
And she said something about me being able to show Fiona the way.
Yes.
And I know nothing of slaying giants.
I will just ask everybody to make an intrigue roll really quickly to see if you can remember exactly what she may have said.
There was something about my character with intrigue. Oh, my background.
That's right. Yeah,
When
you got a
I
bonus to your
rolled-
intrigue.
I had a bonus to my intrigue.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Of course, I'm rolling so high in a game where you want to roll low. It's classic.
We love
Deming
to roll
dice
dice.
curse.
Yeah.
I failed 11 over
Okay.
6.
I passed. I got 11 under 14.
Oh wow.
You have a 14 intrigue?
Yeah,
That's
because
pretty good.
my character, when we were doing the
Got
background
the
rolls,
bonus.
something about my family. Like,
Family
yeah,
bonus was
my
plus
You got like a
family
plus
bonus.
10 or something? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
I failed,
Dame
but I did not
Safina-
fumble.
Dame Safina, her words were, "Be warned, the giant of Montacute will not fall lightly. Truth will slay him as well as any weapon. Learn forgiveness, as a heart abused will cloak itself in the armor of untruth."
Write that down, Fiona.
Yes, I don't know
write it
how to
down.
write,
Yeah.
but I can memorize it and then repeat it back
I can write.
if you need to.
Watch. I'm not very good though.
So modest.
I take immense
right.
pride in my modesty.
All right, and I think that's a great time for a quick break. Return to us here at Gen Con, the Glass Cannon Network. In this downtime, go to chaosium.com, pick up yourself a copy of the Pendragon starter set, the Pendragon core book, the Pendragon the Grey Knight starter campaign, 15% off using the
Yeah.
code PENCANNON, and we'll be right back here in your ear holes, in your eyeballs, very, very soon. Welcome back to the Glass Cannon Network, where we're playing Pendragon Under an Iron Sky. This is part 3. I'm going to dive straight back into it. Hope everyone's feeling okay. Where we
Yeah.
last left our
Yeah.
characters just
Well,
a few
besides my
minutes ago.
crisis of faith.
Well,
I'm
before
ready to meet my destiny. Oh yeah, my melancholy.
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel a
also,
lot
yes,
better if I had
very
a
so.
magic sword, I'll tell you that. But
Yeah.
other than that, I feel
Yeah.
incredible.
I'd feel a
Should've
lot better if
believed
Sir
harder.
Caradoc had a magic sword too.
So, travel the next day is long, but uneventful. You emerge from the forest and into the muted green hills on the outskirts of Lord Filbert's lands just before midday. It is still, overcast. The sky is heavy and black and pendulous, and it would appear that the autumn rains are not yet done with you. I'll give everyone a choice. You can either make an awareness or a recognize roll.
They're both equally shitty, so
Yeah.
Mine are both 0.
Struggling over here.
I'll do recognize for the heck of it. Ooh, 3 under 5.
4 under 5.
15 over 5.
Okay.
Not a fumble.
Okay, because you're still depressed. You look around, you're like, what's the
I don't
What does it
know.
matter?
Was this a
understand.
trick or does this mean anything? I was feeling better, but then Sir Quegan was like, maybe it's a trick. And I'm like, oh no.
So as you sort of come out of the forest, so Caradoc and Dame Safina, you see smoke from the village ahead. So Montacute rests in a valley, and as you've crested this hill, you can see that the village will be before you. So you're very, very close. Sorry, I thought someone was going to say something. No, we're okay.
No.
Okay. No. All right. So you
I can.
you go further in the correct direction. Thanks to all of you. And so
Skid
top of the
can
hill,
go on and on
look
if you
down.
want.
I could just say something.
I can just vamp,
say all
yeah.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Give us a poem, Sir Caradoc. It's been a dreary day.
Oh yes,
These
Sir
us a
Caradoc.
trembling
mottled
song.
lands.
give us a poem, Sir Caradoc. But make a compose roll. Maybe you. No, seriously, make a compose roll.
Could it actually cheer up Fiona?
Look, let's say that maybe yes, it could. The would-be healer succeeds in row. Yeah, let's.
I mean, that in addition to being granted a boon by a religious figure, maybe those two things combined could be helpful.
You need to have for the victim love, loyalty, or adoration. So if you don't, that's okay.
I got an 11 over 5.
What did you roll?
11 over 5.
Compose? To compose.
Compose, yeah.
Okay. Not your best work. So
I
tell us
thought
what
I
your
might feel
average
better,
poem
but
about
it
the last
made me
couple of
feel
days is.
worse.
Yeah.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I wanted a sword, but they gave it to you.
Smaller than the domain. Smaller than the domain over which your Lord Robert presides. There is but a smattering of small homes and a stone hall at the village centre. Smoke pillars from the hall, no doubt a hearty fire burning within. You're still some distance from the village. Is there anything you would like to do or say before you sort of move into it?
Do we know how many knights did Lord Filbert have? Because Lady Filbert said they all were killed. So how many knights went up against this giant and died?
I'm not sure, but I'm sure someone in the village will be able to tell us what happened.
Yeah, actually, that would be a question I would have is, of what stature was Lord Filbert? What
So
kind of
very,
tier of lord
very
was he?
similar to your lord, but as I've just illustrated with my perfect description of what's going on, it is a much smaller sort of domain and a smaller household and home. So he's supposed to be at the same level, but clearly had less lands to look over. Yeah.
Yes. Well, his holdings are more meager than Lord Robert's, but it is a tragedy, of course, that any number of knights would have perished, leaving the land defenseless, at least until now.
Right.
It does not mean that his knights were any less well trained than us. They certainly would have given their best, but we have a magic dagger. Right,
That's
Fiona?
right.
We do.
Cheer up then.
Why so glum?
Well, you see, I thought that I really believed in the old gods, but there was something about the crone that made me think maybe I don't. And then I thought maybe I do, but then I thought maybe I don't. And are they good? Are they everything you say they always are? The devil? And I just don't know what to think.
Fiona, your entire pitch to the crone was that you believed in the magic, and that's what would activate the dagger.
Yeah.
Well, you've picked a terrible time to question all this.
Well, I don't want to be questioning it. I don't want to have a -5 to all my rolls.
Fiona.
Are you sure you don't want to give your life over to our religion? Because then you'll never have to question anything. People just tell you exactly what to think all the time. It makes it very easy.
No,
God's
I don't
so
think
cool.
so.
Come on.
He's so chill.
Except when he isn't.
No,
Yeah,
listen.
except when he's not.
If there are no
The
old gods,
first volume.
there's no old gods and there's no god at all. That's the problem.
Well, I think there's a god. I don't see why you're depressed. I mean, just finding out that all of your deeply held beliefs are completely untrue. Why would that
we
affect you
haven't said
emotionally
that.
in this way? You squires, I just can't fathom your depths.
My skin is too fragrant and my arms too graceful to think of such things.
My arms are
You're right. I'll just do some yoga and feel better.
As you enter the village is quiet. You could say that the village is empty. You could say that it's too quiet. You could say the village is empty, but that is before you round a corner, headed toward the hall, and you see the tree. The ancient oak stands wizened and labored with a bent back and many branches forking out like lightning. And from it hang the brutalized, burned, and flayed bodies of nearly a dozen men.
Oh, man.
Everyone please make a recognize roll.
Oh no. Is it bad that I was like, we're about to make I fully expected you to say make a sanity roll.
Oh, no.
Roll. I'm like, in that mode, I'm like,
Oh, we got a
2
couple
under
successes.
5.
2 under
4.
Success. Fiona, did you fumble?
well, it would have been a crit, except because I
too
rolled
bad
a 5.
It's been modified.
Oh,
But,
you're too
Terrible.
depressed.
Minus
You're too
0,
sad.
so.
You're not even looking.
I can't look. I can't bear anything else
a
horrible.
paradox.
It's too horrible.
I got a 9 over 5.
Okay. So Sequegan and Dame Safina, you recognize that among despite they've been burned or flayed and stained with blood, the armor that is hanging from them and also their clothing, coupled with the shields that have been piled at the base of the tree, these are knights. Some of whom you vaguely remember meeting, at some sort of a holy day feast some years ago. But these were the knights. So it's very prescient that you were just asking a moment ago how many knights there were. It was roughly a dozen.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
If anyone would like to now I will ask everybody to choose either make an honor or a valorous roll.
I'll do valor.
I did
Yeah, I'll
honor,
do
and I
valor
got
as
5 under 15.
I think I passed this.
At -5?
At -5, so my honor is 16, so -5 is 11, and I rolled a 10.
Okay, I was so close. So if you'd rolled an 11, that would have been a crit, because
I
remember, the crit
know.
is the target number after modification. So yes,
Yeah.
you succeed. So Caradoc, Dame Safina?
I would have made, if I had rolled honor, I would have succeeded. I would have crit, actually. But I rolled valor, and so I failed.
Oh, you
Aw.
failed. So you
Thank you for
failed
being
Valor. Can you now
honest.
please... Sorry, we'll come back to that in one moment. Dame Safina, did you...
I rolled a 16 under 19.
against honor or valorous?
Valor.
Against valor. Okay, so those of you who... And sorry, Fiona, did you succeed your honor
I
or your
succeeded.
valor?
Honor.
It was honor? Okay, so those of you who passed valor or honor, you feel the sense of, like, these were men and women who were bravely, and dishonorably torn down, and their bodies have been completely disrespected. This is not even close to being a Christian or a pagan burial of any kind. This is awful, and honor dictates that something must be done. If not now, then very soon. Dame Safina, you're fired up to bring justice to whoever did this. This is a horrible thing, and you are very excited to right this wrong. Now, Sir Caradoc, you failed your valorous roll. Can you please roll against your cowardly?
Ooh. 16 over 7.
Oh, okay. So if you'd passed your cowardly, that would have been very funny. Because you failed that one as now, it is up to you how you would like your character to respond. But you won't be, either way, you won't be as fired up as Dame Safina is for having passed her roll, but
Yeah, I think I am freaked out. I'm definitely freaked out by this. Maybe more than my companions. But For to bolster my courage, I finger my knob, and
Scared.
and I step forward with that happening.
Let me at him. As soon as I see who's done this, I'm gonna throw my squire and her dagger right at their faces.
The tree is right outside the hall. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. The tree is pretty much right outside the hall, and the door to Lord Filbert's hall it stands agape.
Does it sound
open.
like there's commotion inside the hall?
No, it is quiet, but from within does pour the scent of mead and lamb and smoke, and no one is standing guard.
Should we?
This is very Beowulf, Saxon trash, but this does sound like Beowulf.
Yeah, Sir Quegan is this does not appear to be the work of a giant. What do I know of them? But it seems to me like they would smash and move on. This seems all too intent to disparage and disgrace this household. Whoever is in there feasting is going to meet the end of my blade.
This is the kind of devilry only Saxons are capable of. Swing!
Did you say Saxons?
Saxons! I can smell them.
I get so mad as soon as I hear the word!
Oh, I hate them so much! I hate them so much! Oh.
And,
Love passion.
I'm going to kick my horse up past the bodies toward the hall.
Your entrance to the hall is not barred. Though it is smaller than your lord's hall, the warmth within is truly fabulous.
Ooh.
The fire pit at the center of the room is blazing as not one but two entire sheep hang above the flames, spitting, blackening, and roasting. Can everybody please make a temperate or indulgent roll?
Oh, fun!
So hungry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, are we off our horses and inside a hall now, or did we ride
the
in?
hall is big enough you could ride in, but once you're in there, you're not really going to be able to do mounted combat. But you can certainly ride your horse into the hall. If you remember at the start of our first session, Lady Gwenhild sort of rode her horse into the hall as well.
I'm going to ride my horse into the hall.
Yes.
Okay.
Be like, what is the meaning of this?
Yeah.
Since this is a trait roll, do I still subtract 5?
No, that's only from passions and skills. Yeah.
I succeeded. I got an 11 under 14.
Against temperate or indulgent?
Temperate.
Okay.
I failed temperate, 13
I
over
failed.
10.
Roll against indulgence, please.
I rolled a 10 over 9.
Success.
Temperate.
Success.
8 under
All
10.
All right. Sorry, Fiona, you failed your temperate roll, or is it indulgent?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll against indulgent. And Sir Quegan? Oh, not Sir Quegan, Sir Caradoc. I keep doing that.
I failed my temperate roll.
Roll against indulgent.
We're all so hungry.
Failed indulgent as well.
Okay, cool. You can react how you would like. Dame Safina, now is not the time to be distracted by the wonderful warmth of this hall or the smell of the sheep. Those of you who Fiona, did you pass your indulgent or did you fail?
I failed my indulgent, so my stomach audibly growls, but I just hold my spear and my dagger.
Sir Quegan, the warmth of this hall is very much welcome after such a awful couple of days in the cold and you actually feel yourself, despite yourself maybe, very happy to be, in a closed, warm place with maybe the promise of food soon.
I had no idea how hungry I was. Starving.
Yes. And those of you who passed any of those rolls, please tick the box. So if you passed indulgent or temperate,
Yeah, I
please
passed.
tick the box.
Either.
Indulgent.
However-
Here's a quick question.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, but I know it's a break in
No,
action,
it's
but
good.
real quick. Winter phase,
Mm-hmm.
we bump these things up. I now have a
Potentially.
check in temperate and a check in indulgent.
Oh.
We roll a check?
Yes, you'll roll.
To
They won't
see if you-
automatically go up. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So I've got a check in temperate and a check in indulgent.
Yeah.
So,
they could mess around, go back. Yeah.
Mm.
So at the high table of this hall, so the big hall where the table where the lord and lady would normally sit, sits a monster.
Oh, God.
He is a giant.
It rises as you enter. Its skin is dark with sweat and mud. Its head is a shag of black hair and unruly beard. It wears naught but a leather cloth about its privates, and its muscles glisten in the firelight. It raises to a full height, some 7 feet, maybe more. It holds at its side the hilt of a massive sword of at least 4 feet in length. Despite the warmth of the room, its breath appears to mist.
What is this? Yet more of Filbert's iron-skirted fools have come to challenge me.
Skirted.
Yes. Who are you?
I am Egislik.
Those of you who hate Saxons will recognize Egislik is a Saxon name meaning terror.
What a jerk.
Wow. God, son of a bitch. I knew it. I goddamn knew it when they said it was a giant. I was like, it was just a big, dirty dude.
But he's got cold breath. He might be magical. You don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do I know?
7 feet tall back then. That was like super.
big.
Like we're all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That'd be,
sorry.
with height inflation, that'd be like 9 feet today.
Yeah.
Well, Egerslick, I hope for your sake that you stumbled upon these bodies already destroyed and decided to have yourself a meal. For if it was you that unleashed this terror, and he uses the word, chooses his words carefully, this terror to this hall of Lord Filbert and his knights, then you have attacked your last fort. Your reign is over.
I defeated each of Filbert's knights in single combat before lopping the head off the Lord himself.
And he turns and reveals the head of Lord Filbert is tied by its hair to the leather of his waistband.
I did so at the behest of the lady. Where is she? For I am to have my reward yet.
At the behest of what lady? Name her.
Gwenhild was to give herself to me in exchange for freeing her from her cowardly, awful husband.
Why would
But
she
she fled in the
choose?
night. I have been waiting for her return.
Why would she choose to be with you over a lord who was her husband? Look at you. Why would any woman, not even me, would choose you? You hang
Even me.
heads from your belt. You
Even a
treat people.
flame-headed, left-handed squire
And look,
would choose a
thirsty.
kitchen dog over a filthy Saxon giant such as you.
I
You
think she
Britons
used
are all
you.
the same. She is a weak woman, unlike our women. A true Saxon woman would have stood up to anybody who would dare cast a hand against her, but no, she cried, and she came to me for help. And help
Oh.
I have given her. And yet you Britons prove once again that you cannot be trusted, for she has fled before giving me my reward of her hand. So if you speak not for her, leave,
And then he raises his giant 4-foot sword.
or if you wish to fight for honor, I will add you to the tree outside.
I will not stand here while a Saxon tells such lies about good Briton women. I will fight you and send you back to the Frisian bog from which you came.
Does it have to be single combat? Like, does honor dictate we have to do this in
Honor
single
dictates.
combat?
You're never going to
Because that
pass
seems
night school
crazy.
if you don't learn these things.
Perhaps it is not so crazy. And Sir Quegan will slowly dismount from his horse and raise to his full height of 4 feet. 8
You're as
inches
tall as the sword.
The swords, you're just that much taller than the sword.
Yes, I am taller than your sword. Fear me.
He steps around. Eagerslick steps around from the table. His sword is resting sort of on his shoulder. You know, it's very big. It's like a foot wide as well. And he steps down the couple of steps from the high table before the fire pit. And he is huge. And you can see as he gets closer, beneath his skin, he actually has the tattoos that so many of the Saxons do, like, tattoo into themselves.
Ugh.
Who would it be then? Who will be first to fall to my blade?
Now, wait,
He looks
everyone.
between Sir Caradoc and Sir Quegan, who
Okay.
are both sort of...
I'm sensing a lot of
Alright.
anger here.
Some misogyny, maybe?
Yeah, it
Of
feels
this
like this is just you
You don't
being
think so?
angry that she said no to you.
Yeah.
She was supposed to
Victim blaming?
retreat with me to the north and be my bride.
Did you treat her with love?
Now, did
Look
she agree to
at
that?
that tree out the front.
Is that...
Yes, she agreed to that. That's why I'm here.
Is,
That's why. Why else would I come into these stinking lands and waste my time killing your iron-skirted fools and your silly lords?
Did you write her a poem the way Sir Caradoc romances with poetry?
He spits on the ground.
See, now, why would you? This is exactly what we're talking about.
Why would she go with you? You don't even write her a poem. Sir Caradoc, dude, you recite one. Show him how to do it.
Right. Hickory dickory dock. I'm about to cut off your cock
I knew that's where you're going.
and mail it back to your wife just before ending your life.
Golly. He doesn't take kindly to that. He points the tip of his blade directly at you, Sir Caradoc.
Oh, God.
Oh, man,
We're all
it's a-
gonna die.
I don't
me.
want. Okay, I gotta fight him.
How do we use truth?
I don't want
You
to.
could roll
but
cowardly.
Learn forgiveness is the heart
Succeeded,
abused will cloak itself in armor.
I know.
I
but,
know, like-
how do we? What is? It has something to do with her, but the thing is, I also feel like I'm kind of pressured here that he flayed these knights and hung
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Pretty
It's
grim.
like, I
Pretty
can't just
bad.
be like, what if we got your girl for you?
No,
Leave us all alone? Like, what?
Yeah,
He's a
it's not about
Saxon.
that. It's-
On top of all this, he's a Saxon. Like I'm famous for hating the Saxons. I
I'm
can't.
gonna have to fight him.
I got a rep to worry about. So
He
have
is a
at you.
dick.
Yeah.
Have at you. I gotta attack him.
I don't know what
so
else to
who-
do. I
we have
kind
to
of want to
just-
say okay, Skid. Like I'm with you. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm not clever enough.
And
I'll
we have to
probably
just
die.
watch. We just have to watch us fight one at a time.
No, certainly we do not. But the thing we would have to do is dishonor ourselves. Unless you don't count a fight with a Saxon as being an honorable contest in the first place.
Oh, I like where
Well,
your
it's
head's at.
well, what's difficult about it is while he's killed all these knights, he's admitted to it. He's killed the Lord and all
He's
these
a
knights.
murderer.
Exactly. So, if we would like some help here, we can turn to our traits. I'm looking at perhaps just arbitrary or forgiving vengeful.
She said, look for forgiveness, or how forgiveness would something. Paula, you wrote it down, right?
Learn forgiveness, as the heart abused will cloak itself in armor.
Learn
of
forgiveness.
untruth, the armor of untruth.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I don't think she did. Whatever his idea is about what happened, it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, is that what she really wanted? Is that, or is that a lot of embellishment on your part, my dude?
Or she didn't abandon him, or you know, I don't know. There's something about this there's a misappraisal here.
Maybe it's the complete reverse. I think if you take the saying the way he said it, it could mean he's bragging about killing all these knights when he didn't.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
His heart is abused, and it's cloaking itself in untruth, right?
Yeah.
Or is it her heart that's abused? I think it's his heart that's abused by her, and he's cloaking it in untruth.
Right.
Then who killed them all?
Other Saxons.
Tell me, Sir Kent, which is, I'm going to say, a knight that I know out there. How did he fare? How did he fight? What was his style?
You think I pay individual attention to each of these beasts?
The one with
they
the
all
yellow.
died like dog. The yellow boy.
And the black standard. It looks like a bee. You recognized it. If you really fought Sir Kent, you would not forget it.
He died like a dog. He begged for the mercy of his god. And as I lopped off his head, I emptied my bowels on his chest.
Oh, that's a bit much. Could have done without that.
That is inappropriate.
You did not answer my question, Saxon. How did he fight? What was his manner?
Spear.
Did he fight with his right hand?
And shield.
Aha! Sir Kent always fights with a sword. And he looks around.
Benjamin alive.
That was
Another thing.
Well done.
He points the tip of his sword directly at you, Sir Quegan.
You doubt me.
I do. I think for all your height and the immense size of your impressive sword, you had nothing to do with that pile of bodies out there. That's what I think.
Then you think wrong. Step with me now and let gods decide who is telling the truth. Unless you fear me.
Fear? You? No. I think perhaps you've gotten too used to fighting normal-sized men. We short knights can be rather scrappy. You will fear me! I have no way to figure out if he's lying or not. That's the problem.
Just fight him. I looked down at my dagger. Is there anything magical happening?
No.
Do we just kill him? I'm more arbitrary than just. I'm kind of like, maybe we just...
Are you forgiving, or is anyone particularly vengeful or forgiving?
I'm a little more forgiving.
I'm a little
one
more forgiving too.
I'm a little more forgiving, but not
How much
like
do you
a
hate
son.
Saxons, though?
I do hate Saxons.
He
Yeah,
really
I hate
hates-
Saxons 15.
Damn it.
Quite.
I'm oddly slightly
16. I
more
hate them
vengeful.
16.
And
So here's the thing
I
that
do
you
hate
haven't
me some
discussed yet:
Saxons.
is what if what he is saying is true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Lady Gwynhilt did seek him
Yeah.
and then left and didn't actually marry him in the end?
And now is trying to get us to kill him.
So my first assumption was that that's all true. In which case, like, it still leaves me at, like, I can't just forgive the guy for murdering an entire household of knights.
You cannot.
Based on that. Like, I see his motivation, and Lady Gwynhilt will definitely have something to answer for as well. But, like, oh, man, it's just tricky.
This is tough. This is really tough because
Also,
we don't
she hasn't
really know what's going on.
But you know what?
and
I'll tell you what. I don't want to steal your thunder, Skid. So if you want to do it, you can go ahead and do it. But I think I'm just going to fight him.
I'm gonna ask everyone to either make a just or a forgiving roll. Sorry, either a just or
I'll do a forgiving.
Either a just or forgiving. Yep.
I'll do forgiving.
You failed, so Caradoc. Can you please roll against Vengeful?
failed Vengeful as well.
Okay,
I'm going to do
it's up to
forgiving
you.
just because
So you're left with nothing.
she said.
I
I'll
picked
do the
the
same.
lower one, and I still passed. And I'm not.
Oh,
I want
so
it
you
to be more
passed.
Yeah. So I know, but she's like, I rolled a 7 under
Ugh.
9 for forgiveness.
Okay.
I rolled a
Dude.
10 under 12 for forgiveness.
nice.
Okay.
But I'm supposed to kill him!
Goodbye, everyone. I rolled a natural 19 on forgiveness
Ooh.
and 7 under 8 on vengeful.
Okay.
Wow.
It's alright. Listen to your heart.
I accept your challenge, you beast! You mongrel. Just because you find yourself wounded in the heart does not mean you slay this household of knights with no repercussions. I will see you dead.
Then step out into the thoroughfare so that your killed, beaten, flayed men can watch you fall to join them.
And he walks toward the hall door to fight you outside. You know,
With pleasure.
outside.
You hear like a kind of like a crack in his voice. He says, I shall stand by those whose memory I honor. I will not let you walk away from here alive. And he starts walking down the steps. He's so little.
Before he goes down, I go to Sir Quig and I say, if you die, you shall die with honor. And I will not allow him to defecate on your beheaded corpse.
He will not empty his bowels on you.
Thank you so much, Dame Sophina. You are,
Gonna front-
as always.
I'm going to front load this for everybody. We're not fudging rolls. There's no roll fudging happening here. The game doesn't want you to do that. The dice will tell stories. I've got a stat card with what his stats are. I'm not going to tell anyone what they are. I think everyone can hazard that he might be a little stronger than an Irish bandit. So keep that in mind. Now, so he stands before the tree with all the knights hanging from it, and he looks down at you, and he's got the sword at his side. He is ready. Remember, he is pretty much naked as well.
Yes.
He wears almost no armor. So, is there a passion, Sir Quegan, you would like to draw upon before combat begins?
So if I draw upon the passion and succeed at it, I draw on that passion for the remainder of the fight.
Correct. It's for everything related to the fight. It's not just for one roll.
Okay.
And you would select a skill. So in this case, sword or whatever weapon you're using.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would select sword, and I'll play on the passion to my homage to my lord.
Okay,
Lord
sure.
Robert
Yeah, he did tell you
Salisbury.
to do this, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll say, in the name of Sir Robert of Salisbury, I will defend the memory of these knights, and I will see their murderer slain
This is so scary.
here at the steps of, why do I forget his name every time, of Lord Filbert's halls. Shall I fall, the house of my family will go on. May this honor their memory.
Softly begins to rain. Make your passion roll, Sir Quegan. What is the number you're looking for?
15.
Okay, 15 or under.
There's 15 or under, and there's no
20
like,
goes all the way up to 20.
Come on, Joe.
there's no re-rolls in this. This is
Why
wild.
can't I cast
You can do
guidance
this.
or something? It's killing me.
Okay, 7.
Okay, so you
God,
succeed.
my
You
heart
are,
is racing.
you are
Me too.
inspired. So your sword skill gets +5 for the remainder of this combat. What does that make your sword skill?
That makes my sword skill 17.
That's so good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. So he raises his sword, you raise yours. And now, importantly, are you using your shield?
Yes.
Okay, because you'll notice that you have 2 different armor values. It'll be your first one was for the regular armor, and the second number is your shield. And
Yes.
some combat results can mean your shield won't count for the armor, so that's why we have 2 separate numbers.
Okay.
While
And in
this
the
is-
rain,
Yes.
As it starts to dampen the mud under his feet, he just starts slowly moving toward him, remaining stalwart and confident that he will duck under the blades of this brute and slice him in weak spots that he is not used to being attacked from so low to the ground.
Eggerslick's hair and beard becomes matted with water and rain very quickly. What would you like? So we first thing we do is we announce what we want to do. So what is the action you're going for? Just a sword attack, an evade. What would you like to do?
He would like to evade. So I'm going to plan for this brute to swing this gigantic sword, and I'm going to slide past it. I mean, but I'm impassioning my sword skill. Like, can I roll my sword skill, or I can't roll my sword skill?
Yeah. So it's if you're evading, you actually roll your movement rate versus whatever your opponent's action is. What's your movement rate?
I don't know.
It's underneath. It's in the middle of your sheet, underneath characteristics, where it says size, dex, strength. It's like 4 down. And derived characteristics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
What
So I'm going to try. It's 19.
Oh, that's
Nice.
pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to evade. He's only 4 feet 8. He's going to try to slip under this blade and then make an attack after perhaps he leaves himself open.
Okay, so if you succeed this, and he succeeds, you will effectively... it functions very similar to the dodge, because you could dodge or evade. But evade will actually... what you want to do is dodge, because evade is a tactic you can use to dodge and move out of his melee distance. So dodge is probably what you want to do, which is the same roll, but it keeps you inside.
Yeah, I'm just going to dodge his blade and then try to strike is the idea.
He is... looks like a demon with the sword. He swings it in a way that you've never seen before. He is attacking recklessly, which means that if he succeeds, he will get +5 to his roll, but neither he nor you will get the value of your shield armor points. Okay, so now we got to roll. So you're rolling your movement rate. I'm rolling against his sword skill +5.
Okay.
Him.
Same roll, 7 under 19.
I said I wasn't fudging rolls. His sword skill is 15 +5 is 20, and I rolled a natural 20.
Oh no!
Yucky doodles.
It's a critical.
So you succeeded though, right?
I succeeded.
I'm just looking at Dame Safina. Anytime she gives me a sign that I'm supposed to do something with this dagger, I'm just watching her, just so you know, GM.
Hana demands it. Hana demands
Alright, so he will win, and he gets +4d6 of damage to you.
Oh, God.
Because he crit?
Because he crit, yeah. So here he
Sorry,
goes.
4 different D6s.
I think we would call that a one-shot.
And I just
minus your armor.
push Fiona back. Single combat, Fiona. I know that we must do the honorable thing. And as he's walking out, he takes out a flute and just plays really sad music.
For real.
So that is
I gotta play instrument on here.
26 points of damage, minus your armor, not including your shield.
Yeah. Okay. So
How much is that?
I had 21, so that leaves me with 5 hit points.
So you take... Oh, wow. So wait, so 21 armor...
No, I had 21 hit points, and now I'm down to 5.
Oh, okay.
He did 16 points of damage.
So you've taken a major wound.
Oh, God, I can't believe you rolled a natural 20.
Major. So what's your con? I believe that's the one I want to check.
13.
13. Okay. So how much damage did you take in total?
16.
16. Okay. So you've taken a major wound. So you're going to write that in your wounds. You've been cleaved like up in here in your chest, like in that spot between your armor, cleaved in there, and write the number of wounds that you immediately fall unconscious.
At one strike, I'm down.
Because you've taken a major
more than your
wound.
con.
It's more than your con. Yeah, you'll see on there. There's these things.
If you take one strike, that's more than your con.
Yeah, that's a major
go
wound.
Down.
Yeah, because you're unconscious. Yeah, your unconscious.
Okay,
level
so
is,
Sir Quegan steps
your total
up.
hit points divided
Lord
by 4.
Robert, and just immediately gets sliced to the ground. Boom.
Yeah,
Hits
boom.
the deck.
Blood spurts out across everywhere. This guy turns around, looks, and he points his blade at each of you. Who will join him?
Do you want me to face him? Dame Sophina?
I think the knights should fight first, and obviously, I think you probably have a chance if anybody at least tries to stab him in the shins. Maybe you'll have a chance with your dagger.
All right.
I'll go first. And she puts down her flute, unsheathes her sword.
If thou insist. All right.
I will.
Caradoc is waiting.
I will.
Unless,
I tried to fight him first.
Everyone saw it. Go ahead. She picks
Everyone
up
saw it.
her flute back up. Picks her flute back up. Go ahead, but please, after you.
Ask everybody who's still awake to either make a vengeful or just roll.
I will make a vengeful.
Oh yeah, you know what? This all comes back to the roll. I failed forgiving. I rolled under my low vengeful, and that's what. Yeah.
I just succeeded on a just roll. 3 under 8.
I also did.
Oh, I failed on my vengeful. I got 14 over 11.
Mm-hmm. But 2 of you succeeded on just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. This man did not fight with honor.
Yeah.
He's using this giant blade. He attacks it he does not deserve you do not need to kowtow to single combat.
And we all fight him at once.
Yes.
Throws the flute.
Yeah.
Yes, that was not an honorable way to approach.
He spits at the ground.
Have at thee, coward.
So Dame Sophina, you actually failed your just roll. Is that correct?
I failed my vengeful.
Failed your vengeful. Okay.
Yeah.
So you may not be leaping into combat right away. However, you
Picks
might want
the
to
flute
assist
back up.
Sir Quegan. You might want to assist Sir Quegan, who is bleeding out in the mud.
Yes, I shall do so.
Okay.
Sir
So
Caradoc.
combat with Sir Caradoc, Fiona, and Egislick.
I will support
What
you,
would
Sir
each of you like
Caradoc.
to do?
Don't forget, I have the magic dagger.
Yes. Now believe in it. Try really hard.
I'll try.
You're the only one who can believe such nonsense among us.
It's just me.
The weight falls on your shoulders.
So I'm going to jump in.
Cool. So we announce what we want to do. So you're just making a sword attack?
Yep.
Yep. Sorry, do you want to become impassioned in any way?
Yes.
Which passion?
I'm going to roll against my hatred of Saxons.
Yeah.
Nice.
12 under 16.
Okay, that was good. I was really worried you were going to fail that and be at -5. so you're adding +5 to your sword skill?
Yep.
Okay. And what does that take your sword skill to?
18.
And Squire Fiona?
Yes. I have a dagger in one hand and my spear in the other, and I'm
You
ready
don't have
to
a shield?
I don't.
You don't have a
This is round shield round. Total
have a
armor
round
protection
shield.
11. So, okay, I will hold off on the dagger then because I'm not sure it's time. So I'll pull up my shield and my spear, and I'll wait for until it feels like the right moment for the dagger, which I think is going to be if he goes down.
Cool. Do you have a passion you would like to draw upon to boost your spear?
I think my honor or my homage to my lord. That's my highest thing. So I'm no, I'm doing this. This is what we have to do. I have to prove myself so that I can become knighted by Lord Robert of Salisbury. So I'll do that and hope to
make your
not
passion
get
roll.
double melancholy.
And can I attempt some first aid here on Sir Quegan? Would that
You
possibly?
can, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now, this is why we also have our... each wound has its own little section, because each wound is treated separately. So we'll do that in one moment.
Cool.
We'll just do this. So how'd your passion roll go, Fiona?
It went very well. 8 under 19.
Okay.
So not a crit,
you're also
but I succeeded.
+5 to your spear.
Okay, so that's a skill. So before I would have been -5. So now I'm just at.
So here's the
5?
thing, though. You come out of melancholy when you enter combat, because you don't have time to... that's actually a rule. Yeah.
Goodness.
Just like Tony Soprano.
Because sometimes you gotta just look, I'm focused on this right now. Cool. So that means I get a 10. What a relief.
And each of you are just making a spear attack?
Yes.
You're making a spear, he's making a sword, yeah?
I will do my spear attack, but I'm hoping to do it in the moment where maybe Slick is distracted by the attack from...
So he will be because he's fighting multiple people, he's at a penalty. So that's already sort of in there.
Perfect.
All right. He is just going to try and attack Sir Caradoc because he sees that as a knight and a target. So he's making a sword roll. Make your roll, please, both of you.
So this is the movement roll to dodge? Is that what
you dodging?
Yes.
Sorry. Sorry, I thought you were sword attacking. But
I am.
Yeah. Make a because these happen at the same time they go across.
Okay. All right.
So
Oh no, Paula.
What did you roll?
I crit. I rolled a 10 with my 10. On
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay. What did you roll, Sir Caradoc?
I got a 16 under 18.
Okay. Well, he rolled a 3 under 20. So that's what we're talking about. So he had a higher target than all of you, but he rolled a 3. Sorry, 3 under 15 because he was a -5. So you both will strike him.
Awesome.
So Paula, because your spear is because your spear was a crit, you get +4 dice to roll the damage against him.
Great. So right in here, it's listed as +2d6. But I'm only have it one-handed because I've got my shield instead of two-handed.
Oh, okay.
So
yes, correct. Yeah.
Then I just use my weapon. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
So it's
so it should
+4,
be-
but
it
what
says-
am I adding the 4 to? And my weapon damage or?
Plus 4d6.
Plus 4d6
So
is
it's
for the
8d6.
crit.
On top
So
of
you
your
add it to-
weapon damage
Yeah.
base, right?
Yes.
Right.
Whatever the weapon
But if
damage
it-
says,
got
add
it.
4 to that. Yeah.
So if I was holding it two-handed, even without the crit, I'd be adding 2 additional damage dice. But because I'm not, it's just the 4. So I'm rolling 8d6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
6, 7, 8. Okay,
That's a
let's
lot of
go.
math.
I rolled 3 6s.
Oh.
Wow.
It's another 6.
Pagan magic, baby.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I can do them in 10s. 10, 10. 32 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
And I got 10.
You got 10.
Yeah.
So look, just for story's sake, so Caradoc, he's actually fighting you. He's ignoring the squire. He battles with you, and you slice him across the chest. Remember, he's bare-chested. And you slice down, and you actually cut free Lord Filbert's head. It rolls across the mud. And this guy howls at you, and as he howls at you, Dame, like he's screaming, and not Dame, sorry. Squire Safina's spear juts out from out his mouth as she spears him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
All of you now
Game of
get
Thrones kill.
all of you now get 25 glory. For felling
Wow.
Edge Slick.
Nice.
The magic of the dagger was it just that it made me believe in myself.
It was within you all along.
Yes.
The real power was friendship.
Yeah, it was the
Real
friends we
power.
made along the way.
Was
I stand
realizing that
over-
he doesn't fight with honor.
Stand over the body of our defeated foe. It's just like,
Yes, proving once again there is only one good Saxon, and it is John Saxon, who's in Enter the Dragon and the 5th Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's pretty good, underrated.
Don't know what you're talking about. How many times
well,
we
you
have
will.
to tell
Your great, and he's there for 15 minutes. His great-grandchildren
But
will.
more importantly, Sir Quegan is slowly bleeding out, and he requires all of your help.
But I was gonna
Okay,
make
so
a...
sorry, exactly. So you're gonna make first. Now, before you make your roll, you can. What is your target number? What's your first aid skill?
7. But I was
7.
going to use a
You can
passion
become impassioned. Yes.
for, we came here on a mission from our Lord Salisbury. And so I'm gonna use my passion for homage for our Lord Salisbury.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that first. And I rolled 11 under 18.
Ooh,
Nice.
well done. Okay, so +5, so that takes
Plus
your
5.
first aid skill to 13, is
12.
it? 12. Okay.
12.
It's a big roll.
8.
I think.
8.
Yay!
Success. All right, so it's a success. So Quegan, you regain hit points equal to your healing rate, which is also written.
Which is
okay,
also
that's
on
3. 3 hit
Okay.
points.
So what is your remaining hit points now?
So I'm at 8 hit
You're
points.
at 8. Okay, so you do have a major wound. You will need to be taken back to. But you've been stabilized. Okay?
Yeah, so basically,
I'll
so
hoist him over my shoulder.
I've been
And,
reading it. So basically, I get stabilized.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to go too far forward, but just based on the rules, I'm now going to have to roll.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to renege on when I said you got cut, because I forgot that you're supposed to roll on this chart,
Yeah.
which will change, and that'll determine the actual wound you got. Sorry. So there's a roll
That's
that
what
will.
I thought that was.
Yes,
the table
that's
for
my
that.
bad. I was trying to be too
descriptive.
too zealous. So exactly, but there's a chart here, and you've got your D6 ready, and this is a this will show you like a characteristic, which is you lose a point from immediately.
Yeah, so you permanently lose a point from one of your main characteristics.
Oh,
and
no.
if I lose size, I don't know what the hell.
You like cut off one of your feet.
Yeah.
Now, if I roll a 6,
Nothing
you don't
happens.
lose a point. So that would be cool. That would be
You
a
got
wound that
this. You
looked
can
worse
roll
than
a
it
six.
The
was, and
coolest one would
eventually
be
I'll
a
heal.
peel. It means you got a cool scar on your face or something.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. All right, here we go. It is a 3.
Your strength. Yeah, so it makes sense then to have a big.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
maybe
like
it's your sword
like
arm.
seven-
It's like
a bunch of
shoulder
tendons.
into his pec. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, into his sword arm. So he permanently loses a point of strength, but he should recover with time. It's wild. The rules are amazing. They're based on what feels like reality. It's
Yeah,
like,
this is like the
you
kind
need
of combat
several
system.
yeah.
I just love this so much. This is what I want from like every like combat game that we play is
It's
something
very
like
dangerous.
this.
Luckily,
Yeah.
so the way Pendragon works is that there's one story, one adventure per calendar year of in-game time. So by the time we play our next session, it'll be whatever the year 526, I think, is what the year will be, and hopefully that is, given the rules, plenty of time for Sir Quegan to have fully recovered.
Oh, cool.
But right now,
Yeah.
so Stephen, you Sir Quegan, you wake up and you see Dame Safina looking down upon you as you're in an incredible amount of pain. The last thing
I-
you remember was this guy just going for it.
Did I slay him?
No,
Eyes
but
blinking
you,
in the rain.
But you fought so bravely. But he is slain. It's a team effort. Except for me. But I helped you. So yes, team effort.
Thank you,
team
Dame
effort.
Safina. I hate to trouble you. He's like his arm is in such immense pain. Feels like he can't.
Oh, probably shouldn't. And it's like, do you
Just get me onto my horse.
All right, and I just
get
kind of
me
like
onto my horse.
cradled him.
And his arm is like hanging limply at his side. Maybe we wrap it up in like
Yeah.
a sling, kind of.
Do a little, yeah.
Just kind of like slings it up close. Dame Safina, if you would be so kind to help me on my horse.
I think what I'll do is I will
He wants
ride.
uppies.
Yeah, I'll like, you probably should ride with me, and we'll get the horses tied.
Put him in a little snuggly like a
Yeah,
baby.
we're gonna little baby Bjorn him.
Swallow him.
Yeah.
Let the squire deal with it.
Oh, is it
the man has a squire.
Yeah,
The man
it's a
has a
squire.
No,
squire.
I want to say that he insists on riding himself.
Okay.
Very
And
well.
so yeah, I mean he's not very proud, but I want him to be in this
Yeah,
moment.
you
All
can
right.
tick the proud box then in that case.
Very
So-
well.
But then
Can't
there's
argue with
also
that.
there's a cool thing here when you're hurt like this and stabilized for aggravation.
Oh. You don't-
So like if he gets on this and rides and stuff like that, each time a
aggravate his
character
wounds.
aggravates their injuries, 1 or more points of damage are subtracted for their hit points. So like you can get hurt more. It basically says
don't look after yourself.
while ill or injured during any scenario, an injured character may choose, or the situation may force them, to leave their sickbed for several days, then rest, then ride many miles, then rest again. The rules for
gosh.
aggravation come into play under such circumstances.
This is so awesome.
Yeah.
I love this.
It's
This is
so cool. Okay, so moderate activity is riding a horse. If I'm debilitated, Aggravation is possible at the game master's option. There's a whole table. So in this specific
you're definitely
situation,
debilitated. Yeah, you are debilitated. You were supposed to tick the debilitated box for getting a
and I did, yeah. And so it's up to you if he suffers another point of damage during this return back.
He
because
probably will. It's
right.
He
I like
will do
it.
that. Yeah, just a little spilling out there. Fiona and Sir Caradoc.
Yes.
You've just killed Eggerslek. How are you
Yes.
feeling?
I don't think I've ever killed anyone before. Like I think this is like a first. So we're all rookies, right? So
Yeah.
So I think he's like, there's this initial sort of like rush of adrenaline for helping to down a Saxon, this giant Saxon that's of the like legendary, and it's just like this immediate sort of rush of euphoria that like the glory that we just like sort of won for ourselves. And I think he loses himself and he like hugs Fiona and it's just like, surely you have earned your knighthood now. Look what you've done. Look what we have done.
We did it together.
And then he just like collapses. Like the kid in Unforgiven, he just like collapses onto a trunk and he just like takes his helmet off and he just like starts hyperventilating.
It's all right. Take the time you need. I will go and pull my spear out of the head of the Saxon.
This
and I
giant.
will this giant. And should we get some kind of proof?
Fiona, I think you've earned the right to bring that head to our lord as proof that you have slain him.
I don't
Or you could
have
bring the head of Lord Filbert as well as the other.
Oh,
Or
yes.
just
that's
something.
good.
Oh, yeah.
we
Bush
have
beard.
claimed Lord Filbert's hall for you, my lord.
We didn't. We're not responsible for this one.
Or you
However,
could also flay off some of his tattooed skin.
Yeah,
The
I'll
other
take
option,
my
if you don't wanna
dagger
carry
for
a whole
that.
head. It's a
I'll-
big
I'll-
head, though. You don't want to carry that around the whole.
Yeah, I'll cut
it's a
off a bit of, yes, that tattooed skin with my magic dagger.
Mhm.
I think also we should cut down our fellows up here, and
Yes,
I'll
you
take
are.
my
Yes.
dagger.
I will just say,
and I'll
while you're
bring
cutting
it
off
down.
the skin with that
Mhm.
magic dagger, there is something in the tattoo that seems familiar. Something that might have you thinking quite a bit in the oncoming days. But we'll come back to that at another time. So you can cut down the knights, give them a proper burial while not giving Sir Quegan too much time, and then you mount your horses, and you must now return to the hall of Lord Robert and his mother to give them the news, but also perhaps to hear Lady Gwenhilt's side of the story.
Yeah.
So this has been Pendragon Under an Iron Sky.
No! That's it?
Yes.
We're out of
we got a
time.
hard out.
Sorry,
we got a hard
folks.
out. We got a hard out.
Oh, we
Right
do
about
have a
time.
hard out now.
Yeah.
We got to do another one of these, and we got to get her in front of the court.
Yes.
Be like, answer for your crimes against the court of Lord, what's his name? Filbert.
Prosecute her to the full extent of the Dane law.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did everybody have a fun time?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
yeah.
it was
Awesome.
amazing, Brian.
So much
Thank you
fun.
so
I thought
much.
Sir Quegan was just going to die.
I did too.
I did too.
Yeah,
I was sure.
I did too, and I was
That's,
like,
the natural
yeah.
20. And
Whoever went first, I thought that they're just going to die.
Yeah.
I
I thought we
sure
were just going to get TPK'd up until Fiona would be the last
well,
one
the thing
standing.
is, I could have just rolled a 3, and then you would have dodged, and you could because the thing is, he has no armor. So if you hit him even once, he's still just a dude, like in terms of his stats. So if you hit him even once, it'll probably be enough to knock him down. So it was the fact that he crit his first roll, right? So
Man.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's not to
Wow.
detract from Paula's amazing critical success.
That
in
was
doing
like
31
so
points of
was-
damage.
brilliant.
That was really, really cool.
Yeah, and of course it was Fiona. It's so perfect.
Yeah,
It's
it was so
perfect.
like poetic. That was great. I love
I get to reunite. Surely.
Exactly. So
Surely
anyway,
I'll be
if you would like to see us do more
Redemption.
Pendragon, The best way to support us and show us that you really want more Pendragon is to leave some comments below saying that you want more Pendragon and to tell people on the internet that you want more Pendragon. But the even better way to prove to my bosses that we should come in and do some more Pendragon with these fine folks at the Glass Cannon is to jump onto chaosium.com, use the code PENCANNON to get 15% off the Pendragon starter set, the Pendragon core rulebook, or the Pendragon the Grey Knight starter campaign. That's what you can do, and I'm sure there's plenty of things you can do to support the Glass Cannon. Happy second day of Gen Con, everybody.
Yes.
Everyone's having a great time.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much, Brian. Great job.
Brian.
Thank you, Noura.
Thank you so much, Brian.
You guys.
It's so great
Noura.
having you guys as always, and stay tuned for a whole day packed with fun games. It's going to be great. We're at Gen Con.
I love Gen Con.
We'll see you soon, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone.